Hi, I'm Chris from Dynojet. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install a Power Commander 5 with fuel and ignition control on this Yamaha SR400. We're going to need to remove the seat, the side covers, and the fuel tank. Once the seat bolts are removed, we can slide the seat back and off. We're going to remove the left side cover using the bike's key. We have a key latch right here. We're going to remove the bolt at the rear of the fuel tank. On the left side of the fuel tank, I'll need to make sure that the petcock is turned off. I'll disconnect the line for the fuel supply. Here at the top of the fuel pump, I'll disconnect the return line. Next, I'll lift the rear of the tank and disconnect the fuel line underneath. Also on the left side, we'll want to disconnect this vent line. Here on the right-hand side of the tank, we'll want to disconnect this black 2-pin electrical connector. And now we can remove the fuel tank. Using the supplied zip tie, I'm going to secure the Power Commander module behind the left-hand side cover right here, rear of the fuel pump. I'm going to route my harness forward inside the frame. The pair of white 3-pin connectors will route to this connector bundle right here on the left-hand side. The rest of the harness is going to go under the frame, then underneath the backbone of the frame. You'll have your pair of connections here at the throttle body, and then the spade connectors will route along the frame, following along the stock wiring harness to the ignition coil here at the front of the bike. The pair of white 3-pin connectors that we've routed here are going to go in line with our stock crank position sensor connectors. If you pull back this rubber boot that's holding this connector bundle, one of the stock connector pairs you'll find is a pair of black 3-pin connectors. I'm going to disconnect the stock 3-pin connectors, and I'll plug the pair of Power Commander white 3-pin connectors in line of those stock connectors. After connecting there, I can put all of the connectors bundled together inside of the stock rubber boot. Here on the right hand side of the bike and at the throttle body, I can find my throttle position sensor and my fuel injector. The fuel injector is right here at the top of the throttle body. That's a gray 2-pin connector. I'm going to unplug that. I'm going to plug the gray 2-pin connector on the Power Commander harness directly onto the stock fuel injector. The stock fuel injector connector with the gray 2-pin connector is going to go to the black 2-pin connector on the Power Commander harness. Also right here I can find the 3-pin throttle position sensor connector. I'll disconnect that. And the pair of 3-pin leads on the Power Commander harness will go in line with the throttle position sensor and the stock wiring harness. Back over here on the left-hand side of the bike, where I've routed my spade connectors to the ignition coil, I'm going to unplug both of these stock connectors on the ignition coil. That's going to give me a solid orange wire and a red wire with a white tracer. The solid orange wire is going to attach to the solid green wire on the Power Commander harness. And I'll need to make sure to slide my insulators over these connections. The white wire with the green tracer on the Power Commander harness is going to attach to the upper coil tab. The stock red wire with a white tracer is going to attach to the male spade red wire with white tracer on the Power Commander harness. And again, I'll need to make sure to slide my insulator over that connection. The red wire with a white tracer on the Power Commander harness that has a female spade will go on to the lower ignition coil tab. Next, I want to attach my ground wire. The Power Commander's black wire with a small ring lug will be secured right here to this common ground on the left side of the frame. And at this point, we can now reassemble the bike.